The fact that y'all looking at this teacher as being predatory first and the teacher second is really, really bothering me.
Welcome on another episode, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on this episode. The last video that I posted was about a male teacher who had posted a video of his female student taking down his hair. This video went viral. At first, in the comment section of his video, like I said in the previous one, there are so many people saying it's not a big deal. Another thing that I need to point out from that video is that when he started the voiceover on that video, he said, let's rub some feathers or something, like, come with the smoke. I'm ready to take the smoke about your opinion about this.
Let's go ahead and stir the pot a little, shall we?
Because he mentioned that he had posted that video in the group chat and it sparked a conversation. So he brought it to his TikTok account, posted it, and expect people's opinion. And people's opinion has been coming left, right, and center. And now I have been seeing an update that he has been fired or suspended. He made another video literally in tears, reading the letters that his students and former students have been sending to him to console him during this moment. And that video still went viral and people are still talking about it. There are some people as well coming at the people who had called him out earlier about the very first video, saying, are you all happy now that he has been fired? That I hope you guys take the same energy to the people in your family who are literally abusers. I hope you people take this very, very seriously. Like, it's so funny. A lot of people think it's not as important and people are giving it so much energy to the point where this male teacher had lost his job. People are still talking about it. People are still reacting to it. So let's get right into what the people are saying when it hits the media that this male teacher has been fired.
Y'all, I really wish I was joking about what I'm gonna say next. This man, currently on his TikTok, after the video of him crying, he basically has a highlight reel with minors in the video. This one right here, showing minors' faces when he's already under investigation, and he thought it's a great idea to show kids a highlight reel of children with their faces in it. And also, I think it's funny how his caption says humility with dignity, humbleness with pride. Is the humility in the room with us right now? Because if you were humble, you would take what professionals are saying and taking the video down. But the first video is still up. He's under investigation. Those videos are still up. And now he uploaded another one with a bunch of minors. We are in the upside down. I don't know what else to say. We are in the upside down. His pride is going to get him into a lot of trouble. His pride is going to get him into a lot of trouble. But oh well. It's the fact that I haven't taught in 10 years and I don't have any kids. And I have more respect to cover the faces of these minors on my page, which is screenshotted from his page. I have more respect to someone who doesn't even know them from a can of paint. I have more respect than the person parents trusted to teach their kids. Wow.
So now that he is fired, y'all gonna track down the rest of the staff? That includes the principal, because the school defended him until they couldn't no more and just fired him. So you gotta fire the principal, and you gotta fire the other teachers that allowed their students to basically help with his hair. And then after that is done, I fully expect y'all to continue this conversation. Not a week from now, not 2 weeks from now. I mean months on end, until you've tracked down all the other content creating teachers that have also posted content interacting with their students. But y'all not gonna do it. And I'm not even trying to defend him no more. Like, too much information has come out and I don't know if it's real or not. I'm simply saying I fully expect y'all to not be hypocrites and stand on business. Because honestly, I'm still disappointed that this topic sparked hundreds of lives having the same conversation, when that energy still has yet to be applied to putting a stop to this 9-year-old rapper being sexualized and put on 20v1 videos.
Wanted to stir the pot, now the pot done overboiled and you out of a job. Pension, gone. Kids that you could take advantage of and make money off the internet off of them, gone. When I say he's making money off these students, I'm not talking about no chump change either. He's making thousands of dollars. And now you're huffing and puffing, crying on the internet, reading personal messages that these kids sent to you. He doesn't care about these kids as much as he says he does. Because if he really did care about those kids, he wouldn't have done anything that would be deemed inappropriate. Then there's layers to it. He went on live, noticed that there was polarizing discourse happening in the chat, but he didn't stop there. He decided to post a video, and if you're a content creator, you know this. He framed the video in a way where he knew it would go viral. He knows that just by looking at this video, it looks crazy. If it had no sound, you would be questioning the hell out of this video. Not only is he exposing their faces, he's exposing what school they go to. He took advantage of these students for clout, and now he has it at the expense of these little girls. Even if you take the X-rated part out of this, it's unprofessional on so many levels. And yes, if it was a woman, I would say the same thing. And to the people defending this man and his actions, y'all are scaring me. Y'all making me feel like I'm crazy. Like, how do y'all not see nothing wrong with this? He's in a position of authority as the teacher and the only adult in the classroom, asking his young students to groom him. I would even give him a little bit of credit if he was helping them unbraid the hair. But he's literally just sitting there getting pampered like a little bit. I don't want to hear nothing about community. There are other ways to build communities without having to touch the teacher. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
The fact that y'all looking at this teacher as being predatory first and a teacher second is really, really bothering me. And then I know some of y'all are probably saying, it's boundaries. It's about boundaries. But the boundaries been crossed. The boundaries is crossed when you sent your child to go up to a school for 8 hours and never met their teacher the entire school year. No, let's talk about the boundaries. The boundaries is crossed when the teacher has to be the doctor, the lawyer, the therapist, the parent, because some of y'all parents do not show up for your children, okay? The teacher also has to put money towards your children, buying them books, notebooks, papers, pens. I've seen teachers pay for field trips. But y'all want to talk about boundaries. Not too long ago, the teachers had the authorities to spank your child in the class. So you think they was calling the parents to do it? Because they wasn't. Obviously, those students adored their teacher. And he adored each and every last one of those children. And that's what I'm judging him by. Y'all are sitting up here judging him by his students taking his hair out, who he's not even looking at. They're behind his head. And for you to sit up here with your predatory mind and your predatory thoughts, because everything don't have to be sexual. But society has gotten people to be conditioned that if somebody is within your personal space, it's a problem. I don't think y'all understand what it takes for a teacher to have to connect to these kids today. I don't think you understand what it takes for your child to be eager to learn. It takes for him to stoop to their level to get something through here. Because if he's the adult all the time, they're not listening. As much as you yell, as much as you preach, as much as you stomp your feet as an adult and show how big you is, your child is not listening. Because one thing that I know about kids, they know when they're being treated right, and they know when they're being treated wrong. Oh, it's not professional. It's not professional. Y'all, it's the end of the school year. It's like a week and a half left in the school year. Those grade books are closed. Okay? Don't act like at the end of your school year, y'all didn't get to roam around free. Let's just be logical here. Because you wasn't doing no schoolwork the last 2 weeks of school.
I want to talk about this teacher letting his students play in his hair or undo his hair during class. But I want to talk about it from a student's perspective because I had like a similar situation happen in 5th grade. So in 5th grade, I had a teacher who had really long locks. Like his locks were like down his back and he was super handsome. Even as a kid, I knew that he was a handsome adult. And I remember just like thinking, I wish, his name was Mr. Shane. And I used to be like, I wish Mr. Shane would let me play with his hair or like touch his hair. Like, I just want to touch it so bad. Like, I just always had that thought. It was just like a little schoolgirl crush. But as a 10-year-old, I was thinking that. Imagine what teenage girls are thinking. And this teacher is a handsome guy. So I'm sure they're definitely taking it deeper than just undoing our teacher's hair. So that's why it's inappropriate, because it's not what his intentions were. It's what the students perceive it as. And it also, like somebody else said, it opens the door for them to be groomed by people who do have bad intentions, because they can say, oh, well, I braided so-and-so's hair and that was innocent, but not everybody is a good person. So it just opens the door for people to take advantage. And also, as a child, you take things like, our perception and we don't conceptualize things the same way as adults. So yes, as a child, I remember just thinking he is so cute. Like I can't wait to go to Mr. Shane's class. Like I had a real crush on this teacher who was an adult. So it's just not appropriate at all. I don't know why that even happened or why that was a discussion. And I feel like that's something they should teach you when you are in school training to be a teacher. That's just a boundary that you don't cross, regardless of race or gender.
This is the thing. I don't have kids, but something that I will be teaching my children, especially my daughters, is that grown men do not ask little girls for help. Like, I'm trying to think of a situation where a grown adult male needs to ask a teenage girl for a favor and they're not related to them in any way. And I'm not saying that this guy is one of them, but what I do know is that is a tactic that groomers use to help foster more of a closeness between them and their victim, which is through asking for favors that involve touching them that are non-sexual. I do know that. And I know people were trying to defend it like, oh, well, I see teachers doing students' hair all the time. Yes, that's very different. That's an adult helping a child. A teacher helping a child who looks like they need help is appropriate. A grown man asking teenage girls to help him unbraid his hair and recording it while they're at school is not. I know people are going to say, oh, well, it's a double standard because he's a man. Yeah, it is a double standard. Yeah, okay, that's why people are picking the bear. There is a double standard. If I had a daughter and she came home and told me that she and her friends helped take out their male teachers' braids at school, I would definitely be pulling up. Absolutely. I have some questions. Because number one, you're at work. Like, this is a work environment. Number two, my kid is at school. They should not be unbraiding your hair. That's not their problem. That's your problem. You should reschedule your appointment. Like, why are they spending time unbraiding your hair? They need to be in the library, nose deep in a book. Lastly, why are you recording it? Like, I have a bunch of nieces and nephews. You've never seen them on my page because I don't record and post other people's children. Like, I just find that very weird. I don't care how relaxed people are about it now, but to me, it feels weird. And I know things are different now, but when I was growing up, I never trusted the young male teachers who were super buddy-buddy with their female students. Like, the ones who would, like, hang out with them on lunch break and, like, text them and all this stuff. And I was like, I never bought it. And a few teachers in my high school were like that. And guess what? They all got exposed and went to jail because they were. And I'm not saying he's like that. He may have had good intentions and just thought it was super innocent. But this is the thing. Like, you can have good intentions and still be wrong. And stop using other people's kids for content. Like, it's weird.
I want to offer an additional perspective that I have not heard in the conversation about the teacher allowing his students to take his hair down. I want to speak specifically and particularly to those people who think that everyone else is doing too much right now, or think it was perfectly innocent and okay and that this teacher clearly did not mean any harm. If that is you or your opinion is kind of adjacent to that, I'm talking to you. I am a former teacher. I taught high school when I was in my mid-20s. I know that, being a younger teacher meant that I was able to understand my students on a, cultural level, closer. I think we were probably entertained by some of the same media, listened to some of the same songs. We were both on TikTok, Instagram, etc., right? Whereas some of the older teachers are not necessarily doing those things or using the same social media, right? Young millennial, Gen Z, that's the teaching age difference, right? So I understand what it's like to be younger and around students that are older, and so generationally we're consuming the same media, interested in some of the same stuff like that. I understand what it means to build culturally responsive relationships with students, but here's one thing that I really want people to understand about why it was really inappropriate and is something you should not do, no matter if you have any bad intentions or good intentions or whatever. Even if you have good intentions, why this is not something you should do. Although you yourself mean no harm, in their minds, what they're understanding is that this is an okay thing to do, period. And that means that somebody else with bad intentions, you get me? Someone else who does want to do those students harm can do the same thing. And the students will be like, oh, well, I did this with Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, Mix So-and-so. So there's no big deal. I unbraided Mr. So-and-so hair in class. Why can't I go unbraid this other teacher's hair in his class? It's the same thing, right? But that teacher meant some harm. You see what I'm saying? You aren't grooming the students, but you are helping them keep doors open for behavior that can be used to groom students. So it's important for you that you model appropriate adult distance so that those doors won't be opened for someone else.
While we're on the subject about the teacher who didn't do anything inappropriate to his students other than maybe set a few boundaries, I was wondering if now was a good time to discuss the predators that are in our families or actually in our homes that are doing inappropriate things, that should not have jobs but are living their best lives, that should be buried under the jail but are not. I was wondering if now was a good time to discuss that, because we know that it's never a good time to discuss that. It's never a right time. Those things are always swept under the rug. So maybe while we're on the subject of the teacher again who didn't do anything inappropriate other than maybe set a few boundaries or put a few boundaries in place, if we can discuss those family members at this time. No? Oh. And let me say this. I'm not agreeing nor disagreeing with this teacher's actions at all. But what I am saying is that if we gonna hold one accountable, we need to hold them all accountable, because I know I've been in school and some people done got some haircuts, some hair takedowns. Half of my staff in high school should have been fired if that was the case. I'd have been to some teachers' homes. Come on, y'all. Come on. Y'all say it take a village, but then when the village step in, y'all make them step down.
Regarding the teacher allowing the students to take down his hair in class, retired principal chiming in. Immediately no. Immediately no. And not because of all of the nuanced things that people are bringing up, the hypotheticals, the what if, the could have beens. This is the problem, because it was something that was happening during the work hours when students should be learning and the teacher should be teaching, and it was put on social media. No, absolutely not, because now the teacher, the students, the school leadership, the school district, all have to attempt to explain away this situation that could be something or it could be nothing. Because now we have hypotheticals. We have people in social media spaces putting out their sound bites about what it could be, all of the possibilities. Let's not forget the parents who are going to be wildly uncomfortable. And for people saying, well, maybe not. Listen, principal, I have dealt with the most ridiculous calls to the most serious calls. And by ridiculous, I mean like things that are like really, really lighthearted that you're like, did you need to call me about the grass being cut? That sort of ridiculous. To things that are very serious. I can't think of a parent in the school that I have worked in or have been a leader in, and I was a school leader from grades 6 through 12. I can't think of a parent that I have encountered who would not have an issue with this, for all of the reasons that people are saying online. And this is why they don't need to be on social media during school and doing things outside of the job. And before people talking about, well, relationship building and, you know, cultural awareness, listen here, relationship building is my jam. That is my strong suit. Any teacher, any adult I have ever worked with, parent, student, community member will tell you hands down, relationship building, my jam. There are so many other ways that teacher can build relationships and meaningful relationships that then can be pushed into the learning outside of having those young ladies in his head. That's not what they should be doing. That's not what he should be doing. There's no other what if. I'm not here to argue hypotheticals. That's not what they were supposed to be doing.
You guys can see there are still several opinions from so many people. In fact, there are still many speeches. I just don't want to make it too long. I just checked what he said at the beginning of the very first video he posted that went viral. He said, let's stir the pot. Like, what do you mean by let's stir the pot? Like, I haven't listened to so many people, so many opinions on this particular video. Now I get where a lot of people are coming from. Why did you start a video with let's stir the pot if you don't know that there are going to be some opinion that might actually contradict what you think you're doing in that video? It's not about your own intent, it's about how it is presented, which one of the speeches in the last video actually mentioned. People cannot see your mind, they just believe in what they are watching. I saw a comment of somebody talking about how this student landed on the shade room and They shouldn't be landing on the shade room for that reason. They were there because the teacher has decided to not blur their face and just do anything that he likes. So when he said let's stir the pot, you already know that there are going to be opinions that might be a little bit on the side that people are just leading into, like, oh, it's too intimate, or they're calling me predator or something like that. You already knew that this conversation is going to come up, but it felt like it was ready, or it had all the knowledge in order to convince people that it's not what it is. But there are millions of people on TikTok, there are millions of billions of people on other social media apps. How many people are you going to be able to convince? Because there are some people that if they tell you that this is what they are saying, there's no amount of words that you want to say, there's no amount of songs lullaby you want to sing to them that will make them change their freaking mind. I felt like he brought this upon himself, to be honest, because I believe that everything should not be posted on the media. So let me hear what you guys think about all of this. Another take that I see that is very different from a lot of takes that I've been seeing is the lady talking about how, as a student herself, she had a crush on a teacher and nobody know. Now thinking back at, what if these students actually have a crush? Like, they are teenagers in that video, they are not babies, like they are really teenagers. It's possible for them to have feelings, like it's very, very real. So what if that is the case? Are you going to know? And what if they are just enjoying that time to, touch you, to get closer to you? You don't even know. Even if you claim that your intent was real, you don't still know the mind of other people around you. And they are teenagers, they can think as well, they can feel, and they can have some of these crushes. Let me hear what you guys think about what they said. Let me hear what you think about the people literally dragging those who have talked about this situation before, and coming at them when they realize that this guy has been fired, license has been seized. Let me hear your take as well. This person said the proper word is projected. A lot of people are projecting their trauma into this situation. That young man is beloved by his students and their parents. No reason why Black people are in hope. Like, so many people seeing it as being intimate, calling him a predator or stuff like that, just basically projecting their trauma. And this is the take of so many people who do not believe that what he did was too much. Like, so many people who are like coming at those who are seeing something wrong in that video are just saying, you guys are seeing something wrong in this video because you are projecting your trauma. That is not what it is in this case. Another person said, 5 years ago, we weren't even allowed to go behind the teacher's desk. My parents would be furious and uncomfortable. And this is one thing I talked about in the last video as well, that I read a comment of a woman talking about, what if she just logged into her TikTok account and then she came across as her daughter literally helping a male teacher unbraid his hair. Like, how is she going to feel? That she was so sure that she's not going to feel well. Another person said he should have used better judgment. Even if he's a good dude, just trying to relate to his student, he is an authority figure. Think deeper, sir. Shake my damn head. He knew what he posted. He knew he was going to spark a conversation. He just was not aware that it would go this length. He thought he had everything in him to fight this, and now he's been investigated. Now he has been fired. Now he's going through a lot that he doesn't even know that it's going to land him. He thought he had figured everything out. He had figured all the responses that he's going to give people who come at the fact that that video is not appropriate. But now just take a look at what he is going through. Another one said he knew it was inappropriate, or else he wouldn't have prefaced it the way he did, not double down like he did, and he's now suffering the consequences. He got the opera he was waiting for. And that is the truth, because when you start a video with let's stir the pot, what is there in the pot to be stirred if you don't think that there's going to be a certain thought towards that video? This person said, even if there are people out there okay with the girls taking out the teacher's braid, there is no way that any parent should be okay with their child be put full face of their teacher's TikTok live during a class. And that is the truth. A lot of parents are saying they will not be okay, like coming on TikTok and just seeing their child face on TikTok. Like, it's just something that does not sit right and actually feel uncomfortable. Let me hear what you guys think about what these people said. Let me hear what you think about how far this video is going, because it was literally reading the emotional support letter that his former students and students are sending to him, and it was in tears, like real tears. I'm sure that he's literally biting himself for posting that video, because nobody wants to be sacked, nobody wants to be fired from their job, they want their income taken away from them. It will have been a better or controlled way if he had made a video saying he never thought about it that way and he's never going to do that again. I feel like this would not have gone far if he had done that instead of posting another student video of the one doing his nail polish or the one doing other things. Like, I feel like this will have died down if you had just realized what people are saying and apologize and just get it moving. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one.